Full throttle, peak torque is available from 1900 RPM. It just gets up and hauls, no problem at all. Ripping me around this corner, bouncing off the rev limiter. This is an absolute machine of a car. I love it. I wish you could be in here just to understand what I'm experiencing, because it is so impressive and so exciting. Again, red line. Awesome brakes as well. You can jump hard on the pedal and it just dives in, grips up, ready for you to hit the accelerator and pounce out of the corner. This is one of those cars where I'm not really reviewing it, I'm just kind of showing you what it is, because what am I going to say? If you've got the money to buy one of these and you've got your heart set on one of these, I'm certainly not going to get in your way to try to stop you. This is the 2025 Audi RS4 Avant, a wagon in German speak. It's the fastest and most powerful flagship Audi A4. So to start with, I'll try and get some criticisms out. It's expensive, but a big house is expensive as well. It is a little bit more affordable than its nearest rivals from AMG and BMW M, like the M3 Touring. So it's kind of all relative. This does have some options on it, including the Competition Plus package, which includes carbon fiber bucket seats inside. I'll show you those in a second. Awesome seats, but that's a $15,000 option. It's also got the RS Design package in red, which is $3,400. And it's got the matte carbon exterior styling package. That includes the front spoiler, side blades, exterior mirror housings, and rear diffuser insert in matte carbon. That's a $6,300 option. So all in all, this example, as tested, $191,405. It's not a cheap vehicle, but it is very, very capable. It's very quick. Luxury car tax also adds up a nice chunk of that as well, so we can blame the Australian government for that. It looks absolutely awesome. I think it's probably the best looking of the performance wagons out there. It is a little bit discreet, I guess, like it's a little bit subtle. It's not until you take a closer look that you will see the muscular bulging wheel arches sticking out further than the standard Audi A4. It's also got these fake vents in the back there. It'd be cool if they were real. And then that carbon fiber rear diffuser, matte black tailpipes. It doesn't have quad outlet pipes, which is interesting. I think Audi is kind of turning away from that, considering this is an RS model. You think it would have the quad outlet pipes. And then, yeah, the front end, it's just quite conservative, but does have the traditional little grille or lip beneath the bonnet there. That harks back to, right back to the Audi S1 Quattro kind of rally car day. Under the bonnet, we've got a 2.9 litre twin turbo V6 engine, 331 kilowatts, 600 Newton meters, 0 to 100 claim in 3.9 seconds with the Competition Plus pack. As standard, the claim is 4.1 seconds. The top speed is also increased to 290 kilometers an hour with the Competition Plus package. And I guess that's a minor criticism as well. 331 kilowatts. It feels like the Audi RS4 has had 331 kilowatts for a number of years now. They could have at least bumped it up even 10 kilowatts just to make it separate from previous models. 2025 model, oh yeah, that's the 340 kilowatt version, just to make it a little bit different. That figure is also down a little bit compared with its nearest rivals, like the M3 Touring, 375 kilowatts, and the Mercedes C63, even the old AMG one, 375 kilowatts, their old V8 one, sorry, and the Alfa Romeo Giulia Quadrifoglio is also 375 kilowatts. So that figure, yeah, is just a little bit down compared with some rivals. Any other criticisms? I don't really like this. That rubber strip there just looks a little bit faded. I don't know. That's about it. I mean, what are you going to say? It's a performance wagon. It's awesome. Meant for driving, awesome to drive as well. So we'll go out for a drive in a minute and I'll show you what it's like. Just a bit of a preview. The suspension is probably the one of the highlights for me. It just absorbs these bumps on the country road that we drive on. And it's just so fast, like so sure-footed and so fast as well. So you can just throw it into corners, give it full throttle. That Quattro all-wheel drive system just sorts out the grip and you're just gone. It's, yeah, very, very impressive. And inside, I reckon this is peak automotive interior. It's not overly digital, but it's got enough technology here to keep you happy, but still plenty of physical controls and an actual design. Like, I know it is a little bit boring as per typical with Volkswagens and Audis and so on. Like, it's all very structured and efficient, but I think it's absolutely perfect. I love that you've got your climate controls down here, you've got some driving functions down here, your drive modes, and you've got a dimmer switch just here, so that just turns it all the way down if you want to. You don't have to go into a big screen just to make very easy options, such as change the drive mode, for example. A lot of these new vehicles that have got screen takeovers, you've got to, yeah, if you're in climate control menu, for example, some of them you've got to go out of that, into the driving settings, and then you can change around your driving modes. Whereas when you've got a separate switch like that, straight away, easy to access. You've also got your stop start in there as well. Some vehicles have it in the touchscreen, even the latest BMW models. I'm not a fan because it's got this huge screen all the way across, and every function you want to do pretty much. I know you've got voice command and so on for certain things. It's not for everything. But yeah, it's just so much better to have physical buttons, in my opinion, because you can just use them while you're driving. You don't have to take your focus off the road. You know that button's there, it never moves, and you don't have to swipe away or get back to certain screen menus. There is some piano black trimming down here, which does get mucky very quickly. I've actually wiped that down before I started filming. And then carbon fiber for parts of the dash and console as well. And then these optional carbon fiber bucket seats are absolutely spectacular. Like, they really hold you in. You've got plenty of side support, including for your legs, which maybe not so much a problem for the driver, but certainly the passenger, keep them nice and secure. The side bolsters are quite aggressive. So if you're pretty large, as in fat, you might not fit in that well, but the side bolsters are soft, like they bend, they move. It's not like a racing bucket seat made out of fiberglass or carbon fiber or something where it's just completely rigid. It does actually bend and fold to wrap you around. I'm only a little bit fat, and it's holding me in nice and snugly indeed. I've got the seat pulled up just one sort of pump, because the lower setting is just a little bit too low for me. That's not a criticism, I'm just saying there's a broad range of adjustment. But you might expect power adjustment for the seats. Paying this much money for a vehicle, yeah, you might expect power adjustment. That's because it's got these optional carbon fiber seats. I'm pretty sure the standard RS4 seats are power adjustable. It saves some weight anyway, but yeah, I can totally see why some customers might be a bit annoyed that they're not power adjustable. Really nice V6 sound, very smooth and svelte. Got a bit of bass there as well. When you flick it over into the sport mode or the dynamic mode, just wait for that thing to stop yelling at me, or stop beeping at me. Yeah, the sports exhaust does produce a nice meaty sound. I mean, if it was me, I'd want it to be a little bit louder in the sport mode or the dynamic mode. It does have a soft limiter there, so you can't redline it on the spot. There's probably a sort of walk around for that, or work around for that. Let me know in the comments if you know what that is. I tried turning the stability control off, tried putting it in neutral. I tried pulling both the paddle shifters, that didn't work either. But yeah, I'm sure there's a way to get around that. But yeah, I love the pops and bangs. They're not like really crackly ones, they just got this bassy pop, pop. Yeah, very cool. And up here, the touchscreen, quite basic, but I really like it. It's got the main menus options down there, and then your tile layout or grid layout for all of your main apps. You can go in and check your car settings and so on, RS monitor, show what's actually happening. And then you've got your suspension adjustment or your drive modes, efficiency assist. Yeah, you've got a few different little gadgets there to play around with. I love that that's not a massive screen saying, you know, look at me, I'm fully digital. I love that there's an actual dashboard here. It's not just a fixture with a massive screen stuck on there. I mean, it is stuck on, it's not integrated into the dash design at all, but even so, I like the size of it. It's not in your way, it doesn't interfere with my view, so there's my line of sight right there. It's not poking up into the windscreen there. Decent visibility all around. I mean, this is a sedan, so you're not getting the upright pillars like in an SUV, so that does come towards my head, but there's my sort of head there. It's nowhere near my forehead at all, but yeah, just something to consider if you're jumping out of an SUV. I've got plenty of visibility in between the pillar and the mirror. And out the back, it is a little bit more confined, again, because this is not an SUV, but the pillars are quite thick at the back there, but I can still see around, and I've got a general sense of what's going on. Up at the back, these seats do take up a little bit of room in terms of these optional carbon seats, including the perception of space. Like I can't really see around it because it sticks out quite a bit there to hold the shoulders in. But I've got decent amount of headroom and legroom. Like my legs are nowhere near the back of the seat and my head is not that close to the ceiling. Again, if you're comparing this to a SUV, then you're going to have a bit more space in an SUV. This is a wagon at the end of the day. You've got climate options down there and some charging ports, USB-A, 2 of them, and a 12-volt socket. Twin cup holders and a little bit of storage in the back. And this has got the big sunroof as well. You can't actually open that all the way, it's just the blind over the top. And up at the back, 505 litres of boot space, expanding to 1,510 with the rear seats folded down. It does have this complicated security blind system where it's got two beams that run through. You've got to actually take both of them off to access, or if you wanted to put a baby seat, for example, down in the gap there, you've got to take this one off, then the other one off. Just a little bit clunky in my opinion. They're quite heavy as well, but you do have decent practicality, some little storage pockets on the side. You can pop down the seats from the back, which is great. And you've got these little pop-out hooks on the side as well to keep your shopping from floating about, including a storage net on the bottom. A space-saver spare wheel under the floor as well. I'm not sure how I feel about that space-saver spare actually. On one hand, it's better than a repair kit in my opinion. Like I don't want to stuff around putting goop in tyres and all that sort of stuff. I'd rather just change the wheel and I can be on my way, but then you are restricted by your speed, obviously. It would be ideal if they just put a full-size alloy spare wheel in there. That way you can just continue your trip with no worries at all. Still got to get to a tyre shop as soon as you can so you can get the spare back in there. But yeah, I think I would rather that than a tyre repair kit. The only other option I guess is run flat tyres. I've got them on my personal car. I really like them for general duties. Like I don't want my wife pulling over on the side of the road, a busy highway or something like that with the kids in the back trying to change a tyre. Like just keep driving, get to a safe spot and then you can figure out what to do from there. But run flats, yeah, you can drive at 80 kilometers an hour speed limit usually. So same as the space saver spare, same as a tyre repair kit as well. But it means you can just continue driving. However, for a high performance vehicle, you want maximum performance from your tyres that don't really do run flats in very high performance trim. This is an absolute wolf in sheep's clothing. You can just put it into the comfort mode and drive it like a conventional luxury station wagon. It pretty much behaves like a conventional Audi A4 station wagon. You don't have to have special skills to operate the gearbox or anything like that. It's not a dual clutch, just a torque converter, which has got good sides and bad sides, I guess. Dual clutch is a little bit quicker in terms of upshifting and downshifting, but this is still very, very quick. Prompts with the paddle shifters are very, very responsive. But it doesn't have any of the downsides of a dual clutch, such as rolling back and forth, a bit clunky going from drive to reverse. This is just totally normal, conventional. You could drive, your grandmother could drive this, in other words. It's not intimidating at all. Even the throttle sensitivity is just normal. Like you push it down a little bit and it will give you a bit of a response. You just got to push it more if you want it to go faster. I know that sounds very logical, but some vehicles out there, you know, you've got a very sensitive throttle and it's actually a little bit intimidating. This is not at all. The suspension ride quality is also excellent, even on this very average road. It's got lots of ripples and bumps and so on. You probably can't see them on camera, but I don't know how, but the wheels sit right up in the guards too, yet seems like there's heaps of wheel travel. So it still has plenty of compression there to absorb bumps. Even the fuel consumption is respectable. This is averaging 9.9. I've already done performance testing. I've done a bit of thrashing up and down here. And yeah, 9.9 in the real world, I reckon that's excellent for the performance you're getting. The official average is 9.5. I did actually see it say 9.5 before I did performance testing. So it's possible to get it exactly on the official average, which you don't, you know, that's not very common. But then when you encounter a nice road or a racetrack, you can flick it over to the dynamic mode. That automatically pops it into the S mode for the transmission. So it's still automatic shifts, but it will hold off up shifts till later and then actually blip the throttle on the down shifts for you. It's quite aggressive. You can leave it in that mode on a racetrack, for example, and do a nice lap. You don't have to worry about changing gears, but it's still in its kind of most aggressive setting. You can actually flick it back to D as well if you want the dynamic setting for everything else, but the gear shifts just aren't as aggressive. It won't hold the engine revs for as long. And you can of course put it into manual mode as well, flick the gear stick over to the left, and you've got manual control. During the performance testing, I tested that you could bounce on the rev limiter from every gear other than first. So first gear, it will automatically upshift to second, but from second, yeah, you can actually hit the red line, which is great. You've also got two different settings for the traction control. Hit it once and you get sport traction control, so it provides or allows some slip, but then you've got completely off when you hold it down for a few seconds and it will come up switched off. Awesome pull from low RPM. So peak torque is available from just 1900 RPM, 600 Newton meters. It really hauls, and it's got heaps of surge as well from just off idle. Like, look at that, that's full throttle. Excellent grip from that all-wheel drive system. Just pounces between the corners, so sure-footed. Like, I don't think there's a more sure-footed vehicle out there, certainly not in this class. Anybody could drive this fast. As I said, the suspension is superb. Going along this section in particular, got a lot of bumps and bouncing going on, but this is just gliding over the top. But as I said, it's still got plenty of wheel travel to catch the bumps. The performance is absolutely awesome. I did try to drift this thing, but it won't really let me, even with it off. Full throttle, and it just grips up and goes. Very fast machine, that's for sure. Full throttle, just hit the red line. Yeah, that's immense performance. And lots of fun. You can actually throw it around a bit. I know Audis are kind of known to be a bit conservative in the handling department, but the RS or RS models are a little bit different. Different department doing the engineering and so on. Awesome grip from these Continental tyres as well. As you'd expect. Like, look at that ripping around there. That was just me on purpose providing too much power, feeding in too much power for the corner. And it just goes, yep, no worries. Yeah, that is exceptional performance. Red line, that's nuts. Awesome brakes as well. This has got the cross-drilled brakes. If it was me, I probably wouldn't do the cross-drilled because they tend to, not just Audis, but any cross-drilled brakes, tend to crack after a while, after lots of abuse. But yeah, there's no question about their performance. This is a very rapid wagon, that's for sure. Yeah, I'll just show you. So 3000 RPM, full throttle from second gear. Picks up almost immediately. There's this very minor sort of hesitation, not hesitation, but just this second where it's like, okay, that's what you want, full power, let's go. Around here, full power. I reckon you could go into that corner a lot faster and give it full power much earlier and it would still just rip you around. It's, you know, not as playful as an M3 Touring, I guess, because yeah, it can be tail happy if you want it to be, whereas this is never going to be tail happy. I mean, if you throw it in, get the weight right off the rear end, it will start to drift, I'm sure, on a track. But yeah, on a country road like this, it's so safe and sure-footed, yet incredibly fast. You've got that rumbling exhaust as well on the overrun. And down here, this will put a lot of pressure on the outside front tyre. No understeer at all. I'm just feeding in power nice and early. Even around this one, it's quite understeery, but nothing. It's just hammering around. It's so fast, this thing. I wish you could be here and just experience this to know what I'm talking about. It's just incredibly dynamic. Soaking up this road like it's nothing. This is a very technical road as well. It's I like it because it is technical. It's got bumps and off-camber bits. The surface is not that grippy as well. Puts a lot of pressure on all systems of the vehicle, so it allows me to understand how it manages. And this doesn't even care. It's like walking in the park. Very, very impressive, that's for sure. I guess the other last question I should ask is, would I buy one? For me, I would rather an M3 Touring. I'll just say that straight out, because it's got a rear-wheel drive mode, and I'm a bit of a bogan and I like drifting and doing burnouts and so on. This doesn't have a rear-wheel drive mode. I can totally understand why someone would buy this over an M3 Touring though. I think it looks better. It's got a nice sleek design, doesn't stand out as much, which, you know, that's maybe have a downside as well. But I really love this interior. I think this is better than the BMW interior because it isn't so digital. Got plenty of physical controls. It's a little bit behind, I guess, in terms of Audi's latest interior design philosophy, but I love it. As I said, this is peak interior for me. All right, let's head out now and do the performance test and see what it goes like.